Hey guys, what's up? My name is Kailey and I want to talk to you today about living and teaching in Thailand. So I want to share with you kind of what my day-to-day life would be like when I was living in a town just west of Bangkok, so a little bit of a smaller town. So the work week was Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. until 3:30. Of this time at school, about 25 hours were spent in the classroom teaching, and the other time was really spent preparing, grading, just communicating with your co-teachers, that kind of thing. So you really were able to get all of your work done at school during that time. I would typically wake up between 6:30 and 7 a.m. I'd get ready for school. I wore a polo that was given to me by the school and just black trousers, but it can be different for each school, but obviously something teacher appropriate. Then I would drive to school and I would take my motorbike, which I learned how to drive in Thailand. It was a little bit of an adjustment at first, but it wasn't too scary as there weren't like too many highways in my town. It was really the best way to get around. I wore a helmet and, made sure I was safe, but it was really super fun once I got the hang of it. But yeah, so I'd drive to school. On my way, I'd stop at the 7-Eleven and I'd get like a yogurt or a pastry or something in the morning. 7-Elevens are like so popular in Thailand, by the way, at all times of the day. Then I would stop and go to like this local cafe right across from my school. One of my students' moms actually owned it, so I would go say hi to my student and her little brother and play with the little baby, and then get my coffee. It was like 30 or 40 baht, which is like $1. And then I'd head on over to school, head to the office, and say hello to the other teachers. From 8 to around 8:20 or 8:30, the students at my school were always in an assembly. So we just would use this time to prepare, get ready for our day. Occasionally I was actually in charge of running the kindergarten assembly, so I'd go out there and sing songs with everyone or hold up giant flashcards and that kind of thing. But if I wasn't doing that, I was just chilling in the office, and then I would go teach from usually like 8:20 until 12. I taught kindergarten, so my students were the ages of like 3 to about 6. And I had a lot of my classes in the morning. That was just my schedule, but it can really vary. But my classes are really just getting the kids excited to learn and excited about speaking English, which I think is really important at any age, but especially when they're that young. It's so important to make the class exciting. So really a lot of like hokey pokey, Simon Says, getting the students up and moving. That's kind of how my mornings usually would go. We also had like workbooks that the students had to do too at the like last 20 minutes of class. So I'd say like, color the ball blue, and they would color it in or write the word, that kind of thing. Then we'd break for lunch around 12 o'clock, and we had an hour off for lunch. We were given lunch at school, and it was really whatever the kids were eating that day, but it was a great way to try new Thai food. It was always really good. If I didn't want it that day, there's so many other options, or I had friends that were vegans or vegetarians. So we'd go out to the other local shops, and for about 30 to 60 baht, so $1 or $2, is the cost of most of our meals. We actually had this sweet, we called her grandma, and she made the best pad thai and the best fried rice for 25 baht, which is less than $1. That's with the fried egg on top. And she had this just little metal roof and her big pan and a couple plastic chairs, and we'd go and get food from her. That was really good. Then after lunch, we'd head back to school, or if we were there during lunch, a lot of the kids are playing football or ping pong, so you could go and play with them, hang out with the kids. Sometimes they had like festivals going on at school. The older kids would sometimes do concerts. There was always just so much going on. Then, in the afternoon, most of my afternoons were a little bit more free, so I'd use this time to prepare for the next day or the rest of the week. And then I typically have like maybe one more class in the afternoons. Then we were able to leave at 3:30 and our day was finished. A lot of days I would tutor after school, so I'd tutor from like 4 to 5, and it ranged from anywhere between like 1 to 4 students, and I could get an extra like $10 or $20 after class and save that money up for traveling. So it was a really great way to make some extra cash. Also, it was a great way to spend time with your students, and it was really cool to see like their progress when you're working with them one-on-one. So I really like that as well. Then after tutoring, I would try to get in a workout. So there was a gym in my town for about 30 baht, which is $1. Or I would typically just go to the Royal Police Cadet Academy, which is where all of the Thai police train, and it just so happened to be in my town. So they had a big running track for us and we were allowed to use their facilities. So there was a big running track, so I'd go run there, and it was really beautiful. Or they had like Zumba for the Thai moms, so sometimes I'd join in with that. And then one of my favorite things to do was just to go hang out by the river in my town, and I'd bring my yoga mat and meditate or do some yoga. Sometimes friends would come along, and sometimes we'd go to the market and bring our food and eat there, and that was just always so beautiful during sunset. Oh, and by the way, at my school there was 20 English teachers, so they became my friends super quickly, and some of them are like will be my friends for the rest of my life. I lived with them in my apartment. There's a couple different apartments that we could choose from, but I had a couple English teachers living with me in my apartment, so there was a lot of people to make friends with. There's a lot of expats and other English teachers in Thailand, so there's so many other people to make friends with, as well as the Thai teachers at my school. It was really fun to go out and do things with them. So after I would go work out, I would usually get dinner with some of my friends, and then usually just hang out, watch Netflix, watch TV, that kind of thing, catch up with friends back home, catch up with my family. I usually try to call my family like once or twice a week, and with FaceTime it makes everything so easy. But yeah, that's like my typical Monday through Friday. During the week, if it was a Friday or the weekend, sometimes we'd go to the local Thai bar in our town, and they played Thai music, and they always thought it was really fun when the English teachers would come. I'd also would go into Bangkok like 2 or 3 times a week, 2 or 3 times a month, and so like about half the time I'd go into Bangkok. We were about an hour away. I could take a bus for like 20 baht, which is like 75 cents maybe, or you could split a taxi for maybe like $2 or $3 a person with other teachers. And there was so much to do in Bangkok: shopping, museums, festivals, literally anything you want. Like lots of great fun nightlife, got lots of really great things to do during the day, outdoor areas. We even went ice skating one time during Christmas, so that was really fun, and they had Christmas decorations, so that was cool. And Bangkok has lots of great food too, and they have Western options, so if you're really craving pizza, or like I would always go get Indian food when I was in Bangkok, that was my thing. But yeah, so sometimes I'd stay in my town, and if I did stay in my town, there was lots to do in my town, to go exploring by the river. There was temples nearby. There's this really beautiful sunflower fields. And then sometimes we had long weekends where we'd have like a Friday or Monday off. And during these times, sometimes we'd go and see other areas of Thailand. I really like to go to Koh Samet, which is an island just like 4 hours south of Bangkok. So it was pretty easy to get to like on a long 3-day weekend. And we met a lot of other English teachers there. So it was always fun to see where other English teachers were working throughout Thailand. And then if we had like a week off, which we had off during Christmas or during term, so I taught a couple different terms. So I had a month or 2 off, so I would travel around Thailand and to a lot of different countries around Asia. So I really got to see a lot, do a lot of Thailand, around Southeast Asia, and yeah, to me it was really just such a fantastic experience. The work-life balance was really great. I love working with the students. I've actually, since my original job in Thailand, continued to stay in Thailand. For now it's been 3 years, and I've worked more in the nonprofit industry, but this first initial job really took me out of my comfort zone and showed me how much I can really do if I put myself out there, and I really would recommend it to anyone. So if you have any questions or want to learn more, click on the link below and you can explore the unfamiliar with Journey to Teach Abroad. Thank you so much for listening.